Welcome to PD on the Go, the podcast that delivers bite-sized learning on communication, collaboration, and facilitation for busy teacher leaders. Tune in while you're in your car or on your lunch break or while you're making copies and get ready to level up your leadership skills. My name is Rebecca Hazelbeck, and I'm joined today by my colleague, Hallie Case, and we work for the Office of Professional Learning in Fairfax County Public Schools. So some of our work is around creating Compass courses, and we know that many of our teacher leaders aren't able to be out of their buildings, and so we want to bring you some sort of bite-sized learning from the different Compass courses that we teach. And today we're going to focus in on moving between consulting, coaching, and collaboration.
Yeah.
And so in this course, we talk about these leadership acts of coaching, collaboration, and consulting. So could you tell us a little bit, Hallie, about the difference between the three?
Yeah. So I actually think this is always really enlightening to people in this course because we think of coaching as sometimes used as an umbrella term for some of these other leadership acts. So consulting is what you would do if you're having like a learning conversation with someone else. So let's say I'm a mentor or I'm a reading specialist or an instructional coach, and I'm having a conversation with you. If I need to move into consulting, then I'm providing best practice, or I'm making sure you're clear about a policy, or there's a rule you have to follow. So when you're doing those things, when you're sharing ideas that kind of seem like advice or the way something has to be done, then it's consulting. Collaborating is when there's shared decision making. And you're both kind of putting ideas on the table and coming up with the best path forward for how to solve a problem or whatever it might be. And then coaching this one is really more about supporting someone else's thinking. So, and you know this, Rebecca, like when you're in a coaching conversation, you're not supposed to give advice. You're not supposed to share your own ideas about how something should be done. You're really just asking questions, listening, and paraphrasing so that the other person has a chance to just think and come up with maybe realizing they have some ideas that they just hadn't been able to like access yet in their thinking. So that's sort of what we talk about with those three ideas.
Okay. So coaching is more like building the capacity of the other person to be able to move their thinking forward and make the decision for themselves so they're not depending on you so much as their consultant.
Yeah. I think that's the goal. And what we call it, what we say in the course is that we want to, whenever we're partnered with someone because they need support or want support, the ultimate goal is to increase their capacity and decrease their dependency on you because it's really hard to be a successful teacher who feels efficacious and like able to do their job well. They feel like they have to always go to another person to get the answer. Right?
I see what you're saying. So should coaching be like our default then?
Yes. Coaching's the default.
Okay.
So you want to start in coaching and you want to stay in coaching as long as possible.
Okay.
So things to look for would be if you're posing questions that are open-ended and meant to like stimulate someone's thinking and they're getting frustrated or they're saying things like, I don't know, then then you stop coaching and you switch into one of the other leadership acts. But if it never gets to that, then let people come up with their own ideas. And what's tricky, I think, too, is even if it's different than how you would do it, because that's the capacity piece. Yeah. It doesn't have to be done the same way that maybe I would have done it when I was teaching that subject or trying to do classroom management skills with a kid, right? Like you have to kind of trust people and their professional judgment to try something.
So if you notice coaching isn't working, you're either going to shift to consulting or you're going to shift to collaborating.
That's right.
So maybe we are coming together and creating a list of ideas. That would be collaborating, right? Or maybe I'm providing you a list of 3 to 5 options that you might like to try and that you get to choose which one, but still you're giving them sort of that autonomy to make the decision on their own and own it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like in both the collaborating and consulting stances, if you are able to give choice, then it becomes coaching again when the teacher gets to be the one who makes the choice, right? They have autonomy, and they're going to be more likely to follow through. The other piece that we talk about here is in whatever leadership role you're in, using these acts, if you are only giving advice or only consulting and then it doesn't work, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Right? Like you sort of take a hit to your credibility. And people might trust you less and might be less likely to work with you if they think you don't have good ideas. But if you're just supporting other people and coming up with their own ideas, it's okay if it doesn't work. Let's come up with another idea for you to try. You don't have to own the decision, because what if you were wrong?
Yeah.
I don't want to be wrong.
Then I probably wouldn't go back to that person again,
No,
right?
right.
Go to somebody else. So
Yeah.
making sure the power stays in the other person's hand, keeping the spotlight on what it is they think would be best.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep. Unless it's a policy or a law,
Yeah.
right? Those
Yeah.
would be the exceptions. There's
Okay.
not options there.
Okay. And then how do I know, like, if I'm going to go meet with somebody, like, how do I know which act to use when I'm working with somebody? Like, I know I want to start with coaching always. Is that right?
Yeah. So there's a resource that we use from a book called Mentoring Matters. And they talk about the intersection between attitude and aptitude. So that sounds like sort of confusing, but it's basically a quadrant where on the y-axis you have the level of confidence of a learner. So from low to high, what's the level of confidence of that person you're working with that they are going to be able to learn. And then on the x-axis, it's what's their level of existing knowledge and skills going from low to high. And we'll share this in our Instagram resources so people can find those. But basically, you can think about, like, if someone has a high level of confidence as a learner and a high level of knowledge and skills, you're going to likely be able to coach the entire time. But maybe you have, let's say you're working with a teacher who is a veteran teacher, but they're new to a school. They might have a high level of confidence as a learner, but a lower level of knowledge and skills because they're just new to that place. So they don't know yet how something's done. In that case, you might need to consult a little bit more, right? Like, here's the policies at this school. We're a responsive classroom school. Here's what that means. And you're, right? So, I mean, I could go into all of the 4 categories, but we'll make sure we make them available to people.
Yeah, we will definitely make sure we make all of that resource available to you all. And thank you so much for joining us today. You can find more resources and ideas related to today's topic on our Instagram at FCPS_PD. So join us next week for more PD on the Go. Thanks, everybody.